Hi, it's Peggy Lee, and welcome to Dynamite's new release blog hop that we are having at the Namites.com blog, and all of the design team members will have something on their blog as well. Make sure that you leave a comment on all the blog hops, and make sure you go back to Dynamite blogs and leave a comment at the very end. So my tutorial today is going to be featured on this die from Namites Dies. It's a beautiful cardinals and holly die cut, and here is the die. It's very beautiful. It's very thin. They're wonderful, strong, sturdy dies. And here it is cut, or here is the die, and here it is cut. I cut it out of white cardstock, just plain old white cardstock. And we're going to get busy creating with them. And what we're going to create today, I'm going to show you. This is the card that I made for the blog hop, and it is an easel card, and it goes up like this and sits. So it sits like that. So what I'm going to show you today is how I colored my holly branches and my cardinals. And this is a really pretty, this is a really beautiful die set. And I will have a link below to another video of me putting this card together. So let's get started. So we're going to put this right over here just to get it out of our way. Okay. I'm going to start with two of the die cuts cut out of white cardstock. One is going to be the whole image, and then we're going to take one of them, which is this one, and we're going to cut the birds out. So I'm just very carefully going to cut apart the birds off from the branches, and it's really simple. And this is a great way to get more usage out of your dies. So don't just look at a die and say, oh, I'll never use that or something like that, because you can use dies with other dies. You could use different pieces, parts. Actually, this piece that I'm snipping off right now is actually the inside piece in my card, on my card base. So just to give it a little bit more decorative touch. So don't throw these pieces away. I save them in a little little bowl, and I will tuck them into a card or a tag or whatnot. So, and you're just going to want to clean up your edges to make sure that you have a round bird and not something that looks funny. And just clean up your edges really well. Okay, so there's that little bird. We're going to set him aside. Now we have this little one that we have to cut apart. And so don't throw these little pieces away. Save them for, you could use them for a card, a tag. Alright. Let's just clean up his belly just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I colored my holly berry vines and my cardinals. So really first, what I'm going to start with is I used tons and tons of distress inks with my distress dauber, applicator. So the first thing I used was antique linen, and that was distress ink. I used antique linen, and I just rubbed a little bit on, and I'm going to just do the bellies of the bird, just the bellies, just a little bit. Now what I'm doing here is I am inking the birds on here. I'm only going to do like 3 coats, just the antique linen and then the warm lipstick and the festive berries, and then that'll be it. And then the rest of it will be green. Okay, so I did the bellies of the birds on the branch. Now I'm going to do the belly of the cardinal, and I'm going to do the belly of this little one. That easily. Okay, we're going to set this one aside, and now we're going to move on to our reds. Okay, we're going to peel this off and put our red sticky on. Okay, we're going to do 3 different reds today. We're going to do warm lipstick, we're going to do festive berries, and we're going to do barn red. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with warm lipstick. Okay, let's stick that over on this side. So I'm going to take warm lipstick. Okay, and I'm going to run. We're just going to wipe over the whole bird. It's just going to give it a base color over the cardinal, right over what you already colored for Distress inks. What's great about Distress inks, the more you add color, it just blends. It all blends well together. Okay, and now I'm going to do my birds on here. Just really carefully, try not to get too much red on your vines. Okay. And if you do get a little bit of red on your vines, it's not a big deal. Once you color it with the green, you won't even notice it's there. Alright, so now we're going to change from warm lipstick. We're going to go into Festive Berries, which is such a beautiful color. And we're going to get that in. And we're going to go right over it. Again, the whole thing. Right over the cardinals. And I'm not being fussy. I'm just slathering it on there. Okay? So we can set that one aside. And we're going to do now we're going to put the color on the little cardinals that are out here. And you want to do swirly motions so you don't get like hard edges. Okay? And you are going to get a little red on your fingers doing it like this, but that's all about paper crafting. What's great about these dies is that you can mix and match. You could add two different kind of dies together. Like I could cut these little cardinals off and stick them onto another a die. Alright, so now we're going to take Barn Red as our color. We're going to use Barn Red. And we're going to go over the whole bird again. Okay. And every time you add a color, it's just all three of those colors are blending in so well. And you're going to get the color of the cardinal that you want. Cardinals have different depths of color. They can be really red though, too, as well. Alright, so here we go with that. Alright, and if you want, you can take some Barn Red and put some Barn Red on here too. These are not going to be seen, these cardinals, but you know, if someone's looking at it from the edge, these are not going to really be seen face on, but if you see, you can see the cardinal underneath. Like if you're looking at it from a side view, you want to be able to see that it's red. Okay? So we're done with that one. So now we're going to add highlighting. Okay, we're going to highlight these two birds. We're going to highlight these two birds. And excuse my son. I have a beautiful studio, but the sun is not cooperating with me. Alright, so we're going to take this, we're going to take Age Mahogany Distress ink, okay, and we're going to just color around the edges. This is going to give it that deep maroon color, and it's just going to be really pretty. Alright, go around all the edges. And these little birds are they're easy and quick to do because they're so small. Okay. Now, for one last tip, I'm going to take Festive Berries again, Distress ink. I'm going to grab some of that ink and I'm just going to swipe over the whole thing. I really like the color of the Festive Berries, and it's really going to make them pop. Alright, so here are our cardinals, all colored and ready to go onto our branches. Isn't that pretty? It's just so pretty. They're just really pretty. Alright, so we're going to set those aside. So now we're going to come back to our main color. We're going to come back to our main color, our main our die cut, and we're going to color the boughs. We're going to start with Bundled Sage. We're going to go to Forest Moss, and then we're going to end it with Pine Needles. Okay, so we're going to start with Bundled Sage first. Whoops. I'm going to change our applicator to one that can go with green. So we're going to start with Bundled Sage, and I'm just going to swipe. Oh, real quick. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. Take your sponge applicator that has the Festive Berries on it and just touch those little berries that are on the vine. It will help color them. You're going to cover those up with distress stickles. This stinks. Listen to me. So that's funny. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go in with the bundled sage, and this is going to give kind of like the highlights once we add the darker colors on it. And you can really don't be shy. This cardstock that I'm using is just white cardstock. I think it's 120-pound paper. It's pretty sturdy. It can handle quite a bit. So I'm really pressing this sponge in there to get the color. And you'll see once we add the forest moss over this, oh, it's going to be so pretty. Whoops, bent my little. Do you have to be careful that it is a little, some of the areas are a little delicate. Alright, so now we're going to move on to, so this is what the bundle sage looks like. Let me give you a closer look. That's what the bundle sage close-up looks like. So now we're going to take forest moss, which is a little bit darker green, almost like a bow green. And we're going to, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It changes it. It's just so pretty. And I'm just using my tip of my applicator. I'm not using the whole applicator because you really don't need the whole applicator because you're doing really small areas. So and get a little bit in that one and get right up to the legs. Okay, and then lastly, we're going to take pine needles, distress inks, and we're going to do the same thing. This is going to add the highlights to it. It's really going to darken this up. Alright. It's amazing. Look how fast this is. I changed this whole color. It was white, and I changed it to this in just a matter of minutes, just using distress inks. Look how pretty. So now all you have to do is take your 2 cardinals that you cut out from this branch, and you just put some pop dots on the back of them, and then pop them up on top of your cardinals that are on the bow, and add it to a homemade Christmas card. Add it to a scrap. This would be beautiful on a scrapbook layout. This would be beautiful on a candle, on a package, a gift tag. There's so many uses for this. So thank you for joining me, Peggy Lee, at the Dynamite Blog Hop today. And be sure to jump to the next person. I'll have a little description and link below on the next person for the Blog Hop. And have fun. Thanks.